As we continue downstream, we come to the Piazza Ognissanti, which gets its name from the church of Ognissante. It was completed in the 1250s and greatly renovated in the 1620s. It's been under Franciscan rule since 1571. Derives its name from its dedication to all saints and martyrs, both known and unknown. Inside is a chapel dedicated to the Vespucci family and contains the burial grounds of that family, including Amerigo Vespucci, from which America derives its name, the famous explorer. Also buried in this church is Sandro Botticelli. And in his opinion, the most important Vespucci was the love of his life, Simonetta, described as the most beautiful woman in Florence. She was his love interest, but that was not returned. Inside this rather humble-looking facade is artworks by Giotto, who created a Madonna and Child decorating the high altar. Artifacts like the robe of St. Francis of Assisi. Evidently, there's a portrayal of Amerigo Vespucci in one of the frescoes in the chapel that bears their name. One of the most fascinating things I find about this church is there are two frescoes on opposite sides of the nave facing each other. One is St. Jerome in his study by Domenico Ghirlandaio, and the other one is St. Augustine in his study by Sandro Botticelli. These were executed contemporaneously in the 1480s, which means they were done at the same time. That these two masters of Renaissance art literally were sitting across the church from each other while they were painting these frescoes. That just absolutely amazes me. And some of the stories I've read where they sat and chatted about lunch, or some of the people in Florence, and they were in competition with themselves to see who could make the best painting. In my humble opinion, the best one is Ghirlandaio's, which has an amazing attribute. One of the eyes of the St. Jerome, well, both of the eyes of the St. Jerome, they seem to follow you no matter where you are in the church. Just off to the side in the refectory is, through this entrance, which is now a museum, is located a very large fresco by Ghirlandaio of the Last Supper. This was also completed in the 1480s. You go through that door to see it. And it was most certainly seen by Leonardo before he went off to work in the employ of Ludovico Sforza, Duke of Milan. And if we look above the door of this refractory, we see the coat of arms of the Medici. In the history of Florence, especially during the Renaissance, there is no getting away from the Medici. They controlled everything.